We will now go to the next step of purchasing, which is a purchase orders. So in the first video, we created the purchase recs, and we did it in three scenarios. One is through the work order, one is through MRP, and the other one's manually. Now in the second scenario, we're going to take the purchase orders that have been created from the purchase recs or that already exist. So now if we look at the diagram here, we created a purchase recs here from work orders, inventory, and manual. Then they go to SOCO and SRM. They're created, and then from SOCO they create the purchase orders are created. Same thing here, Easy Buy. You also have some purchase orders created through Easy Buy. And then these go to the vendor. Now the next stage from here is the goods receipt, and that's where we come in. We could use a T code ME 2N to view all the purchase orders that are open and when they're going to be supposed to be delivered, and their status. And then as we see them get delivered, we see them received. I mean, they either go to the work order, inventory, or they go to overhead. We will now look at the purchase orders. So you always put ALV here because then it'll look like a list. And then since there's a lot of purchase orders, you want to limit your date range. Here I just put it for November 23rd to December 31st for Plan 2507. Press execute. Then here the first one's called account assignment. Then you click on this tab there, that shows you the delivery. That's what the people in plant maintenance will be using, the delivery button. So in this list, you'll see how it's set up. You first have the purchase order number, then you have the vendor, and then you have the delivery date, the material number, the material that's being ordered, quantity that's been ordered, what's left to be delivered, unit of measure, and how much it's going to cost. And then here it'll show you if it's been delivered or not. There'll be an icon there. So we're now going to start receiving items. And then the two subtotals you see here, one is for a day, how much money is in purchase orders should be arriving today. And then the last one is if there's two, that means there's two vendors. So here you have Linco is $324, and then EM Bakeries is $602. Then your totals here is by vendors. So, oops. Sorry about that. That's what that all those values mean. Now that we have all this here, we're going to start doing some transactions. We'll be mimicking it receiving. Receiving can be done through SRM or MIGO. So in this case, we'll do everything on MIGO. So what we'll do, we'll first receive this purchase order here. MIGO is how they receive it. The users will have, the receiver will have already set up the purchase order like this. It'd be defaulting in. Then they put in the purchase order number. They press execute. Then here they have to put where's this being delivered, and it already shows where it's being delivered, and the quantity. So one should be arriving in. And then they press OK. And then we press post. We go back to our list of purchase orders. Go back. We have to refresh the list. Execute. Go delivery. And here it'll show you that the item's been delivered. It'll show that one quantity is supposed to be come in. There's nothing left to deliver. If we click here, it'll show us that the delivery document, that one came in 11/25, which is today. We click here. It shows us who received it, what time, using what T code, MIGO or SRM. If as an example, let's say there was 5 parts and only 3 received, you'll be seeing only 3 here, and that'll be 2 left. Afterwards, you get an invoice document, which will come right here. So we see that this has been received. Now we're going to receive this item here. Sorry, this one here, and we're only going to receive it partially. So we go back to MIGO. We'll say that only 3 came in. We'll say everything's good. Then we'll post. We go back to our list. LV. Go here. We'll see that 5 were supposed to come in and 2 have been delivered. 2 are left to be delivered. So if we click here, we'll see that only 3 came in. Now we're going to receive 1 more. Once again, we'll go to MIGO. Automatically, MIGO knows that there's 2 left to be delivered. So we'll put that only 1 came in. It's good. We do post. We go back here. ALV. 30 date. We'll now see that there's been 5. 1 is left to deliver. We click here and it shows both. One time there was 3, one time there's 1. So the amount of money that was received, total received. There you go. So now what we're going to do, we're going to cancel some of it. We're going to cancel 1. So I'm going to go back to MIGO. I'm going to go cancellation, the very last document, which is the one we received for 1. So we check here to stock. Okay, it's not working. Then we post. That's good. We go back here. ALV. the delivery date. You execute. Go here. Now we'll see that there's 2 to be delivered. We click here. We'll see that there was 3 delivered, 1 delivered, and then 1 was taken away. So adjust the money and adjust the quantity. All reflected right there. So that's how you know if you have anything left to be delivered. Yeah. Now we will receive this whole item here, and we'll see how it affects inventory. We will now receive a couple more, and then we're going to see the effect it has on the work order and inventory. So we'll receive this one right here. So the way you find out if it's against inventory work order, you click on it. If it's SF, it's against a work order. If it's blank, it's against inventory. If it says K, against overhead cost center. So we'll receive this. Actually, we'll receive we'll receive this. We'll receive the whole thing. Post. We'll also receive this one against the cost center. Last but not least, we'll receive this phone here. We'll only receive 4. Press OK. Put the quantity. Post. Go back here. We exit. ALV. We go delivery, and then we see all the items have been delivered. We could click here, see 4 arrived on this date, see there's 1 left. These have been completed, completed. These are left to be done. So we'll now go check inventory. So if we go look at this part, this material number, we look at inventory. That was the wrong part number. I apologize. Go back here. Now you press execute, and you'll see if 4 are in, and those are the 4 that we just received for a value of $92. So we go back here. This one here is also inventory, so a check. Material number. Go here, put in the material number. 3 are in stock. If we look here, we received 3. There's still 2 left to be delivered. Now we're going to go look at the work order. It was this work order right here, 27. We go back here. Here's the work order. Go there, execute. You go documents, and here it shows you the goods receipt. You look at cost, it'll show you the value of the part. So $105. Go here, and that is all. So now they looked at purchasing. In conclusion, we've looked at the purchase orders that are created, that were sent to the vendor, and they were received. We did it via MIGO. We saw how they went to the work order. We saw how they updated inventory, and we also saw how they went to overhead. That means they just charge to the cost center and they don't affect inventory. That concludes this purchasing 2.